Hey everyone, since their release a few months ago, WattCycle's generated a lot of buzz with their growing line of extremely large 48-volt battery and inverter systems designed for whole house backup. There's a lot of review videos out there, but not a lot of installation videos. So I'm going to show you how I set up my system, and it's not permanently installed in my house. I was able to do it in a weekend by myself without an electrician. All right, let's check it out. To recap, WattCycle has 3 large batteries and 3 inverters that are kind of suitable for this. They have a 48-volt, 100-amp wall mount unit. They have a 48-volt, 314-amp-hour floor mount unit, which is this right here. And I see they have just released a 48-volt, 628-amp floor mount unit, which is basically 2 of these put together. Regarding inverters, this is the 6.5 kilowatt-hour single phase hybrid, so 120 volt in, 120 volt out. I've also reviewed the 12 kilowatt hour split phase that will give you 120 or 240 if you need to run a well pump. And then I see that they have now released a new hybrid unit that you can use for load sharing off of a solar system if you don't have a battery. I haven't touched that one yet, haven't reviewed it, but I've seen it on their website. So this setup here is what I need for my situation. I don't need 240. This is just for power outage backup. This is the 6.5 kilowatt hour single phase, 120 volt only, and the 314 amp hour beast. So this is what I need. As you can see, it's on this stand that I made out of plywood and 2x4s, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I'm not exactly sure where in my garage I want to mount this. I'm kind of afraid of where the plumbing is behind the wall, and I just kind of haven't worked that out. I also have a very complicated electrical system. I have a main panel outside and then a sub panel inside, so I haven't sorted out the wiring. And also there's kind of the question about UL certification and UL listing on the battery, and whether or not my homeowner's insurance will get upset at me if I physically install something that isn't UL listed. So by keeping this completely independent, so to speak, hopefully it will offer me some protection. I am not an electrician. I am not an expert in any of those statements. That's just my theory. So what I basically have built is a enormous battery backup. You see this power strip here off to the side. I'll explain that here in just a second, but I'm going to plug this thing into the wall and trickle charge it. And then if the power goes out, I will pull out my box of extension cords, plug into this power strip, and run it out to the various things in my house that I need to run, namely my refrigerator and my portable air conditioner if it's really super hot outside. In this video, I'm not really going to talk about solar. There are 2 reasons for that. Number one, for a 48-volt solar system, you have to have essentially a minimum of like 120 volts of solar input, which is like 4 to 5 panels, which I don't have. So I don't have enough solar to kick this thing on. Second, the way that my house is arranged, that is east and that is west. So south is kind of that way, but that's in my backyard, and this is set up in my garage. So even if I did have 6 solar panels, I'd have to put them in the backyard and run wires through my living room to get to my garage. So for me, for this setup, solar is not going to work. It's just one great big huge battery backup. I have other smaller systems for long-term emergencies that I could move into the backyard if I had to. So let's talk about the connections. For me, the only 2 that really matter are the AC in and the AC out. And I'll show a close-up here in just a second. But basically all I did was I took a heavy-duty extension power strip and cut it in half, stripped the wires back to black, white, green, and put them up inside the terminals. Now the instruction manual is a little misleading. The colors didn't come out quite right on the manual. I've actually already talked to Watt Cycle about that. So look really closely. You've got ground, you've got line, and you've got neutral. So make sure you line up your colors properly. The other thing that's really, really important is this thing will charge at 60 amps, which is more than a household outlet can supply. So when you turn this thing on, the first thing you need to do is go into the menu and turn down the charge rate to 5 or 10 amps, depending upon what else is on your breaker sub panel, or your breaker line. The outlet in my garage is shared with other things. So if I turn it up above 5 amps, it's gonna pop. So this thing is gonna take a really long time to charge with this setup. It is what it is. For me, I'm okay with that since this is just a big backup. Now, the other issue is this power strip is only rated to 1500 watts. So this is obviously a 6000 watt inverter. So I have kind of crippled its capability by using a power strip that's not rated that high. For me, I'm okay with that. If I was in a real crisis situation where I needed more power, I would just cut another extension cord and shove it up inside these terminals. I also bought this 3-in-1, which is like a 14 gauge wire, I believe, and doesn't have a circuit breaker on it. So this would probably be a better option if I needed to run my refrigerator and my air conditioner at the same time, to take this and cut the end off. And now I've got a higher current output. There's other people who are building systems using those standalone AC breaker box, little mini sub panels are about 80 bucks. And I may do that at some point and put it right here. I just don't have the need for it right now, and I've got other ways that I could make it work if I had to. Okay? So wiring the AC terminals, super simple. And then we just need to hook up this ginormous battery. It is highly recommended that you use a torque wrench for this to make sure that you get it tightened down properly. I have an old video review of this one. It was like 40 bucks. Go to Harbor Freight, whatever. So on the side here, you can see these enormous heavy-duty terminals for your negatives and your positives. And the battery comes with these huge power wires. The one problem with this inverter is that the smaller inverter, the 6.5 kilowatt, is designed to work with the 100 amp wall mount. It's not really intended to work with this one. It does, but it's not what it's designed for. So the battery terminals are flipped around. Here's what I mean. So it's positive over here and negative over here on the inverter. All right. And now we've got these huge power connectors that just snap on the sides. I'm going to flip on that breaker, turn on power, and the inverter is lighting up. And I found it takes a minute for the inverter to boot up fully. Okay, so my AC out is lit up. And everything is on. Now there's one other breaker over here, the AC input breaker, which I need to turn on after I plug in the power cord. And you can see we've got an AC outlet over here. Now I'm going to flip that on. And now you can see the charge light is flashing. So it is charging now from the wall. It's not charging real fast, but it's charging. So for me, it's charging with 4 amps. So this is gonna take a while, but it's okay. For what I need, that's all right. The unit does have Bluetooth, so I can watch it on my phone and see what the charge rate is and how it's going. This battery's at 60% full, you know, at a 4 amp charge rate. It's gonna take like 2 days to charge. So I'm just gonna let it go. And now I've got a huge battery backup that's not physically attached to the wall, not physically plugged into my home's electrical system, but I've got a row of electrical outlets here that I can utilize to run my normal household stuff. Yes, I should upgrade to a better power output option, but for my needs for right now, this would be just fine. So I hope this was helpful. I've got some discount codes down below that will link to all this stuff, but please give this a thumbs up and a like and tell me what you think of this afternoon weekend build for this ginormous battery station. Thanks everyone. Catch you on the next one.